This Denver Broncos team preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to a $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
Hey, this is Bill Romanowski. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. Dangerous is gone. We got Bo Nix. Shout out to my fellow Bo Leavers joining us in studio to talk all things Broncos. CJ Sullivan from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, aka the man in the box. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, fellas? Excited for Denver days here.
Oh yeah,
Carl Mecklenburg's, Pat Ryan from Bishop Eustace High, and of course, congratulations on you for your Bo Leaf last year.
Oh yes,
and Bo Nix is a big day for you. I know you were there on the ground floor. A lot of people came in. A lot of Johnny Come Latelys came in, took the Bo Leaver moniker from you, I believe, if you were. But you were there before week one even started. And they came on. They came on strong.
Oh yeah, it was a great run.
The people in the DMs were wondering if that was when you were telling the story about screaming Jesus Christ Superstar to the high heavens. Was it talking about your new love of Bo Nix and the Bo leaving Denver Broncos?
Yes, let's go. I'm a big Bo fan. I love what they did with the defense, bringing in Greenlaw, Ufunga. The snack guy, the snack person is
okay.
called.
Well, yeah. CJ and I will carry the show while you.
Nothing but Broadway songs for his ringtones now. After he went to Jesus Christ Superstar.
I will say that Sean often doesn't believe that the DMs are real, but there were some surprised responses to the idea that Sean would be going, regardless of what it's worth. Sean going to the theater as it would for a musical,
right? A musical theater.
It's a way to you just got to kick back saying, "Hey, I'm cultured." But yeah, let's while he deals with
recap some Denver Broncos. Now, if I was going to ask you real quickly, I like the fun game is I like to name the backup quarter. We talked about Bo Nix. Could you name the second or even possible for bonus points third string quarterback? What do you think that quarterback room looks like this year in Denver? Last year it was hot. Zach Wilson and just good looking people.
I was gonna say Zach Wilson, but I know he's in Miami now. This is actually a great question. I should know the answer.
You should know the backup. He was there last year.
I don't know the answer to this.
He's the handsome Jarrett Stidham, of course.
Oh, we did know
number
this.
two.
Yeah, they traded. That's right. The early free agency attack of the Raiders.
Exactly right.
Get me a Jared Stidham.
Yes, that's when I had the handsomest quarterback room, and then
that is such a Sean Peyton backup. Anyway,
right.
continue.
And third string they brought in the recent Indianapolis Colts and song parody song Sam L. Linger. You know,
which by the way, you have to, if you've not seen that on the man, go to the Man in the Box or the Bottom Line Bombs YouTube
Man
page.
Box videos.
It will get stuck in your head.
Absolutely.
Warning.
It was an Indianapolis Colts. My Indianapolis Colts insider. He used to run a Colts podcast at Three Horsemen. Wrote a song. That's when that was his turning point where like he gave up the shows because the team was so bad. It was becoming a bummer to do an episode. He wrote a parody song when Sam Ellinger was starting to linger by the Cranberries.
Yeah,
and it's a great song. It slaps. I'll tell you that. It got caught in my head all weekend.
Not the first time we've seen a great Colt turn into a Bronco. Although I think you like that there. Yeah, the horse-based handicapping,
neck braces.
Well, also, Peyton, somehow got the championship done. Arm didn't look good at elevation, but we're just talking about the quarterback room.
The quarterback room.
Let's see if Sean. Let's run it back. Sean, backup and third string in Denver.
Stidham.
Correct. And
Third string.
You were maybe singing the chorus with CJ in the office.
There might have been a
the other
song
day.
in your head all week
Sam
about
Ellinger.
this,
There you
man.
go.
Yes.
Sam Ellinger.
Sean did a better job than I did.
Fantastic room though. Again.
Yeah.
How's the snack guy?
He's good. All our snacks are waiting there.
Nice.
Of course, you knew
Ship
he
it.
was going to show up as soon as the show started.
Yeah,
that's how things work.
Usually how it works.
I assume we're talking about Bo Nix's 29 passing touchdowns, fourth most in franchise history. Do you know he has more passing touchdowns in a season than John Elway? That was crazy. and when I told Colby that, he was enraged. Oh, that's a problem with the game. This
Yeah.
that.
It's
Or
modern NFL.
That is true. There's kind of a problem with the game to say that. I mean, it is interesting because Bo Nix didn't necessarily. I don't want to say he wasn't great, but Bo Nix was definitely supported by the team around him. So to hear that he had a better passing touchdown season than John Elway,
but he also had more passing touchdowns than fellow rookie Jaden Daniels. He also took. I mean,
I feel like you're setting up a regression case.
Jaden Daniels took 47 sacks. Bo Nix only took 24. And Sean Peyton, the thing that really drives him crazy, or if you listen to what matters to him, not taking sacks is huge. They have a great offensive line. They brought in Evan Ingram to help him with the get him the tight end involved in the passing game.
I am high on that.
I liked what they did with the draft, RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, and then this defense. I mean, the defense was fourth DVOA, whatever you want to go by last year. You bring in Hufanga and Greenlaw. You draft Jahade Barron, who is looking great, like locking down Cortland Sutton in camp. He's going to play opposite Surtain. I don't think if this offense can crack the top 10, I think they're legit Super Bowl.
Did you see the video of the Jahade Barron climbing up the metal structure?
Yes, I did. See
Oh,
that.
yeah. That was insane.
Okay, so you're just
freak athlete. And Sean Payton,
which is kind of what we had
Sean
heard.
Payton is in love with Bo Nix, and who can blame him? Sean Payton, quote, he's going to be one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the league in the next 2 years.
I disagree with that, but that's what Sean Payton likes to do. I was just real quickly. So that was the individual seasons of touchdown passes for the Broncos history.
Yeah.
And
top 3 are Peyton Manning. Number 4
four's in.
is Nix.
Where's Bubby Brister slipping?
If I'm being
gotta go
honest,
down.
the area that I look back to last year and it becomes surprising to me is the amount of pass attempts that he had.
Yeah.
Because my initial thought is like when we first stumbled into the idea that Bo Nix outperformed all these people with his passing touchdowns, it's like, oh, he must have just a hot, like he just had an outlier touchdown percentage season. No, he did not. He had a good one, like 5+%, but he just had so many attempts, 567. Now, my initial thought is, well, it is like I also would bring up a counting stat like that to highlight how a quarterback that I'm rooting for is having a good season. But I wonder if they're going to be a volume team passing wise going forward, like the Saints were with Drew Brees. Now, I think that's what I wonder, especially with the defense that they're rolling out there. I don't know if they're going to need to be a team that throws this many times. And so if we take a step back from the volume, like he only threw for 3,700 yards. So let's just say there's a healthy step back there. I don't know if the step forward comes from Bo Nix being like this electric carry the offense kind of quarterback. And I think it becomes they're going to be a team that runs the ball. And I think if they have a step forward offensively, it's because the running game takes a step forward offensively.
I mean, Bo Nix had a very good year. I think he can still improve on some things. He says he understands the system way better. He spent the offseason hanging out with Drew Brees. And you look at
sounds fun.
And you look at some.
Hey, buddy, you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to anything you want. If you just put your mind to it.
And I think the positive stuff comes from just them winning some of these close games. They were 1-6 in 1-score games. So I think with that defense, with that offensive line, with Bo Nix year 2, I think they're going to win more games than they won last year. I was high on them 9-8, had them getting into the playoffs at +760. You're welcome. The show is free. And I think they can build on what they had going right last year.
Correct.
I have a little pushback on the people who were pushing out 1-6 and
Yeah.
1-score games, and it is true, and they won a lot more games than they should.
Did they backdoor some of
expected.
those 1-score games?
Half of them
Yeah,
were
yeah,
backdoors
yeah.
where they're again the game was out of
They
out
were
of
down by
reach.
2 scores.
And Bo Nix does his Bo stuff there,
Yeah.
and like gets in there and gets his cover like he did week 1. He started off that week 1.
Oh, that was
Seattle.
great.
Trust me,
Backdoor,
yeah.
backdoor
Absolutely.
push.
Yeah, it
I
makes it
had a lot of
one-score
money
game.
on Bo Nix anytime touchdown. I'm like, Bo Nix is getting in the end zone.
Yeah.
Tire game doesn't. Then the last couple minutes,
He did
garbage
have
time.
4 rushing touchdowns too. So he had 33 total touchdowns.
And
Pretty great.
I would say I saw some of the same thing with the 1 score, but 1-6 is still
Yeah.
a little crazy. They underperformed their Pythag win total by 1.5.
They don't know the Pythag.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that.
I certainly think there's a little bit of regret, like a little bit of regression due, but I also think that like there was, if you remove some of the garbage from Bo Nix's stat sheet, some of that in 29 touchdowns becomes a little. I mean, 321 and 4 touchdowns against the backups in Kansas City the last week of the season. That certainly helps bolster those season-long numbers.
I think what he was good at was just like, well, he didn't turn it over, which was great
No,
for
clearly,
the volume.
like,
And he commanded the offense, but like you're right, his stats are definitely have not asterisks, but like you have to look at a little into him. Like he was 22nd in success rate, 16th in EPA. 220 yards per game. It's fine. It's not great, but it was fine. But he was still a rookie.
Well, and specifically, if you're not, when you see a gap in the difference between success rate and EPA is much better, you're probably looking at a situation where there's a little bit more junk, a little bit more like, yeah, you're completing that awesome 15-yard play when you need 20 yards or whatever. I also would point to, his season started first 2 games, 4 interceptions, but he also threw a decent number of picks down the stretch. And, I agree. He took steps forward. He clearly knows the system, but I think when you see down the stretch teams starting to get in front of the ball, you're reminded that the area that Bo Nix lacked coming into the league and the area that he's not going to ever get better at is arm strength. Every once in a while, he makes a throw where you're like, nice. But I think for the most part, he gets into trouble because he doesn't have that, just like Drew Brees, which is fair. But the slight regression down the stretch where he had a couple games where you don't need to see that, right? You don't need to see him throw 3 interceptions against the Colts. I kind of had forgotten about that Browns game where.
Well, that was his worst game, the Colts game.
Yeah, and it happens once teams start having tape on you. Like the thing they say about quarterbacks that lack arm strength is that the league catches up with you because they see the tape, they can figure out what you're doing, and you don't have the zip to get it there. And so the case against Bo Nix taking a big step forward in year 2 is that the more time that teams have now had to see it, and just the excitement. I think the Broncos are one of the most widely celebrated teams in the offseason in terms of where's the weakness? Like you said at the top, where's the weakness?
Where is the weakness?
But teams like that don't always play out. Now I think it's
I mean
fair.
the hype is probably the biggest argument against him, but I think it's for good reason.
I think the hype specific around the team, but then specifically if you were to do the draft tomorrow, Bo Nix is going behind Jaden Daniels only, and I think
I don't know. I think the national consensus is still pretty low on Bo Nix.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'm curious CJ's opinion here because
people would take Drake May above Bo Nix. Trust me. People would take JJ McCarthy over Bo Nix.
Trust me,
as
bro.
someone who interacts with people about Bo Nix. People think I was arguing with people that said Drake May had a much better year than Bo Nix.
I mean that's a ridiculous argument. I guess I'm more just pointing out to reorder how you feel about a quarterback prospect after seeing 1 year of some guys is somewhat ridiculous. I'm just saying that the stuff that could potentially hold Bo Nix back still held him back. What was great is you saw him operating on NFL offense.
Yeah, I don't get into hypotheticals, but you put Michael Penix in that altitude. That ball's going 90 yards down the sideline.
Michael Penix. Yes, I agree. I'm a Michael Penix.
I do
guy.
think you're very close to some situations, and I think that by way of so many people moving off of the Broncos as are there any offensive question marks here? No, move on. That tells me that as a second-year quarterback, you're stamping him already. Just like Jaden Daniels has been stamped. No one else has really been stamped. Now there are people that are crazy optimistic on JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, not so much Caleb Williams. But I think the idea that they're just like Bo Nix has moved on. We know he's an NFL quarterback. That to me is a greater approval than the other guys.
I have more question marks about their skilled players than I do even Bo Nix. I think the certainties on Denver is their defense, which is dominant,
offensive
and
line.
their offensive line. Those you can say you're watching that. The running backs I'm excited for. The receivers I'm excited for, but you don't. They're still not proven commodities other than Cortland Sutton. I would say than what you're going to get from them. But I do think it's an upgrade. But I'm not locked in on Marvin Mims and Vele, whatever, like being these certain
they're number 2
grade up stars
receiver. They did lose Jordan Humphrey. That is a point of concern a little bit. But yeah, I mean, again, my love of Bo Nix also is that this is the perfect coach, perfect team, perfect match for him. If you took Bo Nix out of this system and dropped him on, let's say, like the Giants or some other team where it wasn't a good match for him, I wouldn't be as excited. But the way they have their offensive line, the way they run the play action, the way just he progresses and sees the offense, and I think he's going to improve with some of the stuff he struggled with last year. That's the optimism. It's not necessarily him. I'm optimistic about the situation for quarterback Bo Nix more so than just Bo Nix as a guy.
1-6 first playoff teams though last year, but
that kind of speaks to your EPA success rate.
Yeah.
It kind of speaks to a lot of what I was saying. Like if you dig through the cumulative stat profile,
there's definitely
there's a lot of garbage there, and I think we remember a lot more of the good than we remember the bad, and I think in some of the bad things, fortunate happened, and that's why they're a strange regression team because I concede to the idea of Pythag and things like that normalizing over time. But I also watched the Broncos, and I would have told you with my eyes they were a lucky team last year. I thought they overshot their wad a little bit, and so that's why it's kind of
I like that Colts game. They were very lucky to get that win, but then they had bad luck, go the other way against them. That Bengals game, those Charger games late, they probably should have figured out ways to win them. Honestly, they kind of remind me of the Eagles in 2021, that first year of Jalen as a starter. They 9-8, they get into the playoffs, they get destroyed there, and then 2022 they bring in AJ Brown, and the offense takes a nice step up. And there were a lot of similar questions about Jalen Hurts. Oh, is this just a situation? They were fortunate. Oh, they're just because they have a good offensive line. And it seems, people were low on Jalen Hurts, and some people refused to adjust their view on him. And I think people had Bo Nix as the 5th quarterback, and there still is a lot of lack of belief in my mind.
Because it's one of these things where you can't really have the debate of whether or not he's good or not, because you'll just find the numbers that support your case, and you'll disregard the other stuff, and you'll say, and he's also, you have to project growth. They
have one of the best offensive lines in the league. And I think RJ Harvey is an upgrade of what they did running the ball. And I think Evan Ingram is a nice tight end addition. Now, would I have loved to see them get a second receiver? Now, maybe Pat Bryant makes a step up. To CJ's point, Devon Vele, who knows? But and then on the defensive side, like, they don't need to be that good on offense. I think the defense is going to be up there again. They were what, 4th in DVOA? I think they could be top 5 again.
Well, you certainly hope, right? Like, that's the part where you hope there isn't some of that. We know there's always potential for random defensive variance, and the defensive gate swings like harder than the offensive gate generally does. So you hope there isn't a step back there, but if there isn't, I concede there's a very high floor for this team.
Yeah.
They have a great home field advantage. They have a
dominant home.
They have a great coach in general. And like I said, I very much agree with CJ. They have the offensive line should be a strength, but Sean Payton teams are always built off the running back room in some way. And I think, I haven't heard you say a single thing about one of those running backs. And like,
I just said, I'm
J.K. Dobbins does not give me any sort of excitement. RJ Harvey is the overrated guy of the offseason. partially because of how much Sean Payton is hyping him up.
I think they're huge.
Jaleel McLaughlin before him, we got excited for. I'm just saying, Sean Payton does this every fucking year, and all Dobbins has done in his career is disappoint us. And somehow he snuck on the running back Zoom call.
I mean, their leader was Javonte Williams last year with 3.7 yards per carry and 513 yards.
And behind a good offensive line.
Right.
That's awful.
I think RJ Harvey and J.K. Dobbins are better than what Javonte Williams gave them last year.
I think it is always funny when you hear about good offensive lines that have bad running backs behind them. Sean will tell you yards before contact is an offensive line metric. And generally when you're under 4 yards per carry, that's partially an offensive line problem. And so, it'll be interesting to see how the running game, because if the running game's good, then how are they not good?
Absolutely.
How is this team not
Just
good?
the whole team is returned. They returned 20 starters, and and the additions you already added. It's crazy that they added to that defense, which was already good. You know, adding Greenlaw and Hofewanga, if they can stay healthy, obviously. I mean, you're talking about I think the number 1 D by far.
Sir, if they end up they were so good last year, they got a defensive rookie of the year and still no one or defensive player of the year and still no one really knows why.
Yeah.
One last thing I'd say about regression. Also they were a pretty healthy team last year, and generally collective health is, especially in certain areas like offensive line, that allows you to have success, especially later in the season. And so, I think not that injury is something I would wish upon the team, but they had great health last year. So, and their running back, literally bringing J.K. Dobbins onto your team is going to hurt your adjusted games lost next year, because he's not. What's the over under?
Stays healthy,
six games.
But I also think, with Peyton, I mean, those are 4 running backs that will see the field with McLaughlin and Epstein or whatever. They will get in there. They rotates. I mean, he does it Mattingly, especially if you're a fantasy player. You'll pull you out right before you're about to score, right before whatever. He has no real rhyme or reason with his rotations. It seems like with his running backs, he uses all of them.
I brought up because to give Sean Payton credit, he often had a relatively underwhelming running back room, but he always got production.
Yeah.
And he always had types. And you remember Pierre Thomas or Deuce McAllister, Mark Ingram, Chris Ivory. None of these guys were good. I mean, Kamara was a second round pick. So if RJ Harvey can become a Alvin Kamara, then this is going to be a really good team. But that has to happen. And he's coached a long time, and he had a lot less running backs. There's fewer guys than I thought there were going to be that were successful for him. And so we'll see if one of these guys can do it. I'll be wrong. That's the path to me being wrong though.
Okay. We'll break down the schedule. See how Kramer has them 6-10, 6-11.
No, I said they have a very high floor. Pay attention. I
have been paying attention. I've been listening to the chat. You're just roasted. If RJ Harvey is not Alvin Kamara, their season's done. I think that's a little short-sighted on how good they're doing.
Well, we'll get into it with the matchups, but I also let's see how this team. Let's see how the defensive line cooks up now that they're throwing millions of dollars at these guys on the line, and let's see if the run defense can, because that's going to be the key in their division.
Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't signed up with Underdog Fantasy, what are you waiting for? Get over and draft Bo Nix. Become a Bo Lever. Load up on him in the Best Ball Mania. I got some shares of Bo Nix, although he was more fun last year because literally no one was drafted.
He's getting drafted so high now.
It's probably a little overdrafted, but he gets you a little bit of a rushing upside there. RJ Harvey, probably to Kramer's point, the hype I'm hearing is all fantasy. I think he's going to be a good player, but I don't know if I'm. The people when they're drafting for these best ball teams go crazy with the rookies and
love them
and the ceiling. But get in over on Underdog Fantasy. Deposit match up to $1,000 in bonus cash and use the promo code SGPN. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code SGPN, and of course, firing away on plenty of NFL futures. We got preseason action. We got preseason line movement. Get in on all the betting over at mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. SGPN. 100% match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions do apply. They accept customers from a ton of locations. Love using mybookie.ag. And again, not just the NFL, the MLB, WNBA, golf, I guess is happening. But come on, it's NFL preseason. The Ravens have moved to 4-point dogs against the Colts. Oh, give me all of that.
Yes, sir.
Ravens plus 182 on the money line over at mybookie.ag. That is insane. Head over there, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN.
Do you think it possibly is because they, the Colts have like 3 backup third string type quarterbacks that are all going to play?
Well, it's because they're going to let Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson sort out their QB battle, which makes me like the Ravens even more. Wow. Give me Ravens backups.
Did you see that depth chart?
The news today, yeah, neither one of them were on the depth chart as QB1, and they say Leonard, and they say Leonard looks the best by far.
That's almost too funny.
Yeah,
too funny.
All right, Kramer, let's go.
Sorry, I was
Broncos time.
I was digging. Let's ride. I was digging around, looking at some metrics here.
And of course, a reminder: the phrase that pays, 1 word per episode, 32 words in order. You got to get them all 32 words in order for the phrase that pays. Submit the phrase that pays at the end of the 32 team previews, and one lucky winner will get $1,000 Circa Future. This episode's word.
You almost forgot.
What do you mean?
You almost forgot to say the word.
Is January. Kramer is just trying to get me to forget the chat. You guys got to remind me. This episode's word is January.
What? Like the month?
Like the month.
Wow.
What other terms do you use January for? If not months?
That's a good question.
Okay. No, I guess people.
I was just making sure this is not for me. It's for the other people.
Okay.
Once you get the phrase that pays. And then you submit it to you guys.
Yep.
And you
submit it,
and you pick a random winner.
Random winner.
And $1,000 Circa Future. Fantastic prize. Now, could people guess early if they think they figured it out, kind of like Wheel Wheel Fortune style? Yeah. You know, I'd like to solve the puzzle, please.
They could make a real mess of it.
No one has correctly guessed it so far. People have the idea of where it's going.
May I say so? You should limit guesses for that to prevent that. To prevent that, you know,
guys,
you can't just fire in, put it through the AI system and fire in possibilities, 32 word phrases.
I wonder if anyone's done that.
Yeah, I'm about.
Tell me how this phrase.
Chat GPT.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or you can just listen to the episode.
Of course,
that's the true. Hack.
You should be listening to the episodes anyway. That the reward is in there.
Yes, exactly.
I'm curious because I was just assigned a video for that. So I want to get all the information I can while on the air.
Very good. Very good. 9.5 is the win total, Sean. Which
it was 5.5 last year.
Yep. Now big adjustment. I'm sure Sean won't mention that, but this is a relatively large adjustment in the National Football League. Slight juice to the under. The make playoffs is -114. Miss is -106. Probably a good conversation there around win total versus make miss playoffs. Division +330. Conference 13-1. Super Bowl 28-1. Starting there, I mean, if they go over, they're probably making the playoffs. So you met the -107 on the over 9.5, better than the -114.
Yeah, I would definitely take make playoffs over the over 9.5 wins. I mean, I like.
Oh wait, so you're saying you'd rather have the make because
make
you
playoffs.
Think 9 wins is potentially a playoff team?
Why not? Okay. Wouldn't you rather have 9 and 8? You have a chance of making the playoffs. 10 and 7, you're almost automatically in. So I don't.
Yeah, probably. I think probably 10 wins in the.
I think it's going to be a moot point, but because they're going to smash 10 wins.
What's the juice for the win total?
The one I'm looking at -107 to the over.
Oh, I see. So you save 7. You say 7 cents, but
to Sean's point, right. I wasn't really.
Nine's a possibility.
My simulations.
I mean, they made it. They got in. Oh, last year they were 10 and 7.
Yeah.
My simulations have the AFC team needing more than 9 wins to make the playoffs, like 95% of the time. There's a lot of good teams over there, and I've been giving out a lot of wins. So
that division price is tasty.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's just
looking at just the first reaction.
Any other macro schedule takes, Sean? They don't
middle of the road schedule wise. There wasn't any like strength of schedule, rest net rest. I don't think anything jumped out.
Slightly on the negative side of the rest advantage. Schedule is relatively mid, and for a team with 9.5, they are favored 12 times, and they are dogs of less than 3 more times. They're basically only dogs greater than a field goal twice.
Yep.
KC and at Philly. So this is a team that is being given very high levels of respect, very, very high levels of respect. So in some ways you could, you can see some value in the win total just based on where all these spreads are. Now they are also short numbers a lot. So let's get into it. Well, anyway, do you guys have anything before we get into it? I asked the question and then I just went right into it.
No, I see the little flag there where they go to London there for that Jets game. And then, other than that, it seems like it's pretty balanced as far as road and I mean, I guess that's an official home game, I guess, in Jets. So
I believe they lose a road game, so they have 9 home games, 7 road games, and a neutral site.
I always look for obviously the 3 in a row.
That's huge.
Road, and there's none of those. It looks like
a couple times they have back to back, but they don't.
Right.
I mean, and then they kind of have a back to back road spot with the London trip, but all in all, I feel like their distribution
Pretty manageable.
Not so bad. Like I said, there's a little bit of rest stuff. We'll get into it as we go.
Right.
Tennessee at home to start the season. This will be. I'm now convinced this will 100% be the chalk in Survivor.
Yeah.
At Indy, at Chargers, back-to-back road games inside. Interesting handicap there, and then the Bengals show up in town, and the Broncos. Like this is the first spread to me where I was like, the Broncos are getting a ton of respect.
Well, that's a Monday nighter, isn't it?
That is a Monday night game.
That makes the difference.
And it's early season in Denver. We tend to give that advantage to the Broncos. The Indy game was very weird last year. We were just kind of talking about it earlier. 3 interceptions. Chargers. I think I'm just gonna chop the division games up, keep it easy for myself. And so maybe I say, do I go 2-2 here, or is this a 3-1, Sean?
Oh, I'm going 4-0.
Really?
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Whoa.
I think they're gonna smash the Titans at Indy. The Broncos defense against Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Take my money, please. And then at Chargers, they'll have the crowd there. I think they might split with the Chargers, but it might be the other way around.
Chargers coming off Monday night there also. Yeah,
Chargers on a short week, and then the Bengals at home. I think this Broncos defense can keep them at bay there, and I think this is a tough spot for Cincinnati. Now maybe they go 3-1, but I'll go 4-0. I'm not afraid to be high on this Broncos team. Kramer, you're
well, now I got to hear what CJ has.
You got to hear what the specials are at the Waffle House, going back and forth. 2-2, 3-1.
No, I asked the question.
CJ, what are you doing?
I'm definitely 3-1 here. 2-0, no doubt. And then I originally had it loss at Harbaugh, win that Monday night. I think it's a big Monday nighter game. Either way, they split that. If it could go the other way too, they could go 3-0. If they do that, they're definitely losing that Monday night to Cincinnati. I can definitely see that coming back in on the high.
Prime time.
I watched a little quarterback over the weekend, and that Joey Burrow. I mean,
that will be the 3rd road game they play in the first 4 weeks. The Bengals,
right? And the Bengals, but of course, and that's right when they start shaking off that rust of going 0-2 and 1.
You almost want them to lose
0-3.
It's different this year, CJ. They're going to play in the preseason,
right? So 3-1. I'm pretty confident in that.
I'll go 3-1.
Oh, nice.
At Philly.
Don't stop believing.
At Philly.
Now that's a loss.
Then they go back to back. So they're going to go straight from Philly. I did a little bit of research on this. The plan is to go straight from the East Coast over to London.
Yeah, you go to JFK, fly with them.
Where they take on the Jets, then the Giants, which both teams dealing with the same travel. For the Giants, this game is wedged right between 2 Eagles games, and then the Cowboys.
Interesting.
A lot of losable spots here.
For me, 3-1. That Eagles game is going to be tough on a short week, but I'd like them to handle their business against the Jets. I mean, Aaron Glenn, first time head coach going overseas, and then Giants and Cowboys at home. I think are pretty. I mean, those quarterbacks. I get it. It's gonna be. Feels like it's gonna be a revenge game for the Broncos and Sean Payton against Russell Wilson, a guy they hate, a guy who took way too many sacks for Sean Payton that enraged him. So I think they get both those wins. So I got them going 3-1 here.
This is my ears are popping just looking at this thing, thinking about all the flying and altitude. So they go to Philly on a short week off the Monday night.
Tough spot.
Yeah, that's a loss, obviously. But then you're saying they go right. They take the bus up the turnpike, go to JFK, and fly with the Jets over there.
From what I understand, they are maybe saving a couple bucks.
Yeah.
They are not returning to Denver.
Okay.
And they'll be going straight out there.
And then they come right back to Mile High with no bye to play your Giants right off of London trip, and then you got Dallas coming in there. I mean, those
now
are
the Jags who do this trip the most.
right.
They travel later.
Okay.
They've learned that they travel later right into a walkthrough and then crash out. Heard a couple players talk about it. Now, I don't know what the best thing is, but the team that's done it the most is doing that. So I wonder what getting
travel later. You mean later in the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they are not. They're going early. Sean Payton wants to get the
listen.
photos in. He wants Big Ben. He wants Parliament. he wants to mess with the guards a little bit. Get those photo ops.
I like in this situation, I feel like I understand why you want to reduce the amount of hours your giant football players are on a plane, but I also wonder is that too early?
Well, but I think the move is just because you already flew to Philly, then you're avoiding having to fly back to Denver or just stay in some random place.
Either way, I don't know.
I think it makes sense for their schedule.
I don't fully know how to handicap that.
Yeah, this is very tough. And let's not forget, I think I just see a couple slip up games there. And I think I might even give you Giants a shot there in that game. I mean, the Russell Wilson comeback game here. Let's ride.
Russ is a pro,
fresh off the Europe trip. I mean, I don't know.
Russ is a pro, and I think it's come out that clearly Sean Payton was a huge fucking like dickhead. And it's
sure.
documented. They went out. It's like you never cross the line into taking someone's money. And Sean Payton crossed the line into trying to mess with a man's money.
Yeah.
And so Russ will never say this, but that game is going to fucking matter.
100%.
And so, Pat Surtain getting undressed by Malik Neighbors.
They could cover the number.
Then you have the Cowboys right back Denver, a rematch of what is known as one of the worst Super Bowls of all time in the 70s.
1-3.
I think there was like 11 turnovers.
You have the Broncos 1-3 here.
1-3 in this stretch.
Yeah, I want to go 2-2. I just think it's just too many weird things going on travel wise.
Yeah.
Sean
really underestimating the Russell Wilson revenge.
What's their one win in this 4-game stretch? Okay. You do have Dallas 0-17, so I feel like.
What do you mean?
I'm saying you have Dallas 0-17, so you have to give the Broncos that win.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why that's 1-3.
Okay.
I have Philly and Giants as the loss.
Say the Giants. That's maybe that might be one of the locks of this episode. Giants on the money line.
Yeah. Let me get that look ahead now.
At Houston, I mean that's a ridiculous number. At Houston, which by the way, Sean, you're never getting a Philly -6.5, -7 week 1 again against Dallas with the Micah Parsons news. I think that's going to be 7.5 until kickoff. At Houston, next 4. Las Vegas coming to Denver. Again, I'm chopping these up. Kansas City coming to Denver. A late bye week, which is good if you're high on the team. And then at Washington, first of a back-to-back, which is kind of a weird spot for them, if I'm being completely honest. Which by the way, if we didn't mention it, but Sean Payton is 2-0 in international games. If you were wondering.
Nice.
And this Raiders game is Thursday.
But you have them losing to the Jets in international waters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just sharing information.
No,
I know that you don't like to share information that goes against.
I do.
Your opinion.
I'm.
But
just,
I was just sharing.
I'm struggling to see how they lose to the Jets in England. But
Justin Fields is a European style game though. It translates well over there.
I think this is a tough stretch. I could see. It's going to be tough for me to pick against them at home.
Which one's the Thursday night?
So
game?
when you
Vegas?
look at this team, you see clear Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean not
Yeah,
like
we're-
clear, but I think they're going to be in the mix. Yeah.
By saying you can't see how they can lose a game in a shitty ass stadium in
Oh,
England
sure, it's
to a team that's going to run the triple option.
Sure, I I think anything could happen overseas, but I would not grade this game a win for the Jets.
And then they have to fly all the way back to Mountain Time Zone to take on Russ.
Yeah,
let's ride.
I think that's going to be a revenge game for both teams.
All right, so
and we'll see if Russ is the starter week 7
at Houston, Vegas at home on Thursday night, Kansas City at home.
So they get the extra rest for Kansas City. That's good.
And you get the bye week, and then Washington on the road, and that's a Sunday night game. Yeah, what are we doing here, Sean?
I'll go 3-1.
Really? So they're winning at Houston, or they're winning at Washington?
Yeah, I think they win one of those. I like to give myself a little flexibility in the predictions, but I like them in their home games. I do think them coming off the bye against Washington. I think Washington's gonna have a real wake up call when it comes to moving the ball against this Broncos defense. So I think that's a tough spot for them. Washington
also off a bye for what it's worth.
Now could they lose at Houston? Certainly. I think Houston has a pretty good defense. And then Raiders and Chiefs at home. Yeah, I'm gonna like them in those spots.
Right. Who do the Chiefs play week 10 and when is it?
Getting the extra Thursday rest against the Chiefs, who they should have beat, if not for that blocked field goal at the end of the game. Again, going back to kind of some of the unlucky breaks that cost them games.
This is where the rest stuff catches up. So the Chiefs are off a bye.
That's what I mean. I see they don't have a rest benefit in that
you're
game.
right.
Washington's off a bye.
The only rest benefit they have is one day, week 3 versus the Chargers.
And the Houston, so the setup for the Houston is it is. So the Jags would be the next week. The previous week, you have the D'Amico Ryans wants to show off her daddy San Francisco spot. So yeah, a bit of a stretch getting anything there. So yeah, I'd say the game they lose is probably that Houston game.
Yeah, they lose the Houston game. They beat the Raiders. Chiefs now.
I don't like that. It's basically Andy Reid off a bye.
Yeah, Andy Reid off a bye is tough, and they lost 38-0 in that week 18, obviously with no starters. But
I was going to chop the games up, but you're saying
there.
I shouldn't fade Andy Reid off a bye.
That's what you just said, and
you're right though. I shouldn't.
That's exactly
fade
what
him
happened.
So 2-2.
That's gonna be an awesome game. You're having them lose to Washington.
I do. I'm with Sean that I think. Well, Washington's interesting because I think both teams. Like I'm in a similar place with both quarterbacks, but I trust the stuff around Sean Peyton more, so I'll give Sean Peyton the edge. There.
I'm gonna have them beat the Chiefs, lose to Washington. Still 2-2.
2-2.
So 2-2 from you guys. So going into the final stretch, CJ 7-5, me 10-2, Kramer 6-6,
10-2.
Couple reasonable guys over here, but
6-6 seems reasonable.
Right, absolutely. 10-2 is
all right. So then they complete the back-to-back road
ambitious,
spot
but I like it.
at Las Vegas. Then we get the Packers coming to town.
This is where
Jags coming to town.
Good night.
I don't.
Good night for who?
Good night, Bo.
At Kansas
Crazy.
City, and then the Chargers to close it out. You gotta love having the 3 late home games.
Yes,
in Denver. That's very nice. So 10-2, Sean. I'll let you. And the Kansas City game here is a Thursday night game.
So yeah, I'll go 3-2 here. And I think that's pretty reasonable. Now, maybe the 3-1 from last quarter ends up being 2-2, and this ends up being 4-1. But I feel pretty good about 3-2. 3 very winnable home games, and maybe they can steal one of the road games at KC on Thursday night. That's obviously going to be a super tough spot. But if they need week 18, I do like them to get it done. Yeah, so I got them going 3-2 here this last 5. CJ, what are you doing? I know you guys are rock hard for your Jacksonville Jaguars.
I can confirm that we both had them. Well, I had them finishing actually the season 4-1. CJ 3-2. Both of us, I think, conceded this was a loss.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this is a Denver win.
Yeah.
I think the Packers. Man, this is a tricky one though. But I think the home games are all wins, so it's at least 3 for me.
loss at Vegas. We're splitting that up.
Yep.
That's what's happening.
Okay.
Raiders are 8-1 against the spread the
Yeah,
last times hosting Denver. Now they did lose last year, but this is a much different Raider team, obviously. With
No, you're right. I said I was chopping.
No,
the
we're
Raiders.
chopping it. We're
So
chopping the
that's a loss.
Raiders. That's a loss. It's back-to-back losses, road losses. Packers, the home team is going to win that.
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
now Jacksonville, you were putting Lawrence in that altitude late night when he.
It's a late season buy for the Jags.
That's true. They might
buy that you lose.
They might have things locked up by then. That's my only
That's true.
fear about Jacksonville coming in there.
3 games out, they got the 1 seed locked up.
CJ, I had them lose that game and finish 13-4. So let's stay strong.
All right, they will cover though. That 5.5 is a joke of a line.
Yeah,
They have.
That's a good point.
They've won their last 4 against the spread at Denver, by the way, just for a little bit.
Oh, nice little nugget.
Overrated
Yeah,
Denver.
Absolutely.
Overrated.
So, all right, I'll get the loss at Vegas. They'll beat Packers. They'll beat Jacksonville. Kansas City, I mean, that's the rematch of that 16-14 game last year with the missed field goal or the blocked field goal.
I mislabeled this one too. This is the Christmas Thursday game.
Yeah.
Which one is week 17?
Yeah, it's confusing that it's not like a special day. It's just Thursday.
The Chiefs are taking over Christmas. They're taking over the NBA. They want them to be the
So
Netflix Christmas game, right?
Can they upset the Chiefs on Christmas? That becomes
Of course they can, but I think the Chiefs are going to have revenge in their mind on this one. And I think they want to really brand themselves as the Christmas team. And
no, you know what? I'm going to give the Broncos this one because I do think I've written down in my notebook too many times that you fade the home team for the holiday game.
The Chiefs,
because the home team has stuff. They got to deal with the stuff. They got the family. They got the. When you're on
That's
the
a good
road,
point.
you're working.
That's Ryan's dream, never to acknowledge any holiday.
That's fantastic point, though. I
Great
like that.
point. So 4-1.
All right,
4-1. Wow.
They
that's
close
amazing.
hot.
So Ryan realized he needed to catch up and load up the Broncos with some wins. Knew that 9.5 over wins was a lock. CJ.
I'm at 3-2. I'll give him that Charger.
3-2.
I'll give him that Charger week 19.
So
18,
CJ and Ryan 10-7. I'm 13-4. We're going to talk Broncos 2025 best bets. Before we do, Circa Survivor, circa million, 22.5 million up for grabs. It's insane. We're going to be out there contest weekend. CJ will be out there with us August 21st through the 23rd. Come hang out. They got an open bar party that Thursday night. Great time to come out. CJ, do you think? I know you're going to be playing a bunch of Survivors.
Yep.
Are you going to have multiple entries on the Broncos week 1? Do you play Broncos week 1? I understand it's chalk,
right?
but what else are we doing Survivor week 1? Like the Cardinals, yeah.
Can I tell you like an honest story real quick?
Yes.
Because it might change your opinion. I watched the full 80-minute trailer for the new
Documentary?
The new documentary. Yeah. And
Sizzle reel.
I had a dream
Okay.
that the Broncos lost the Titans. Week
Oh,
one.
that'd be great. It actually would be great because it would be
it
just
is-
like last
it
year,
is
right? It'd be
one of those
amazing.
games everyone's hyping up. The problem is they're at home versus a rookie, which that is
exactly.
just. All right.
No one will see it coming.
Are you
Right.
gonna-
That's
you should
exact-
play Titans, Ryan. That's going to be a ton of value.
No, I don't want it. That's not the answer there.
Yeah, I literally think it's going to be a blowout. But I will have more than one entry on Denver, but not all of them. I'm not. I'm not under the
You're not
shoving. I'm
Well,
not shoving.
We have our secret team.
All right.
Yeah.
They wear red. They come from the desert, and they'll be down in
Cardinals.
Nolens.
A lot of fun ways to get in Circus Survivor. And of course, if you're playing the contest, go to footballcontest.com, use the promo code SGP, get you $50 off the proxy fees. And of course, love Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna bet you with props, courtesy of our good buddy CJ Sullivan inventing that song. And you can invent your own models, generate your own power treads, your picture props. Rhythm helps you bet smarter, not harder. It's great to have the data to back up the gut handicapping and what you're seeing out there with your eyes. Get your 7-day free trial today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM NFL. College football, those products are about to drop. So stay tuned. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, Kramer, you're on 10-7, but what are you doing bets wise for this Denver Broncos team?
I don't know how I feel about being over.
Okay.
But I also don't necessarily want to change anything. 4-1, maybe too aggressive down the stretch. They trip up there. Switch me to Switch you to a 3 and 2 there.
Okay, maybe we can get like a waffling. I
can see that
the
the
waffle
floor
iron's
is
done
the
getting
floor is
made.
high, but I'd like to play closer to the floor outcome.
Okay. What are your bets? You under 9.5 wins.
I'll take the under on the 9.5 wins.
So you think between the Broncos and the Jags, you think the Jags are the team more likely to go 13-4?
In my simulation, Joe.
Okay. Under 9.5 wins. Well, how else are you fading the Broncos?
I mean, 9 wins is a good season
For some teams.
It's barely a fade. I'm right on the win total. You're getting it feels a little personal what's happening.
Well,
right
what else do you want to bet on the Broncos?
It's a little harder other than just taking an under on Bo Nix. So I kind of want to let's pull up the I was going to do yards, but now I'm changing because we had that long conversation about touchdowns earlier in the show, and I'm going to take the Bo Nix under, which I don't have in front of me. Give me a second. This is going to be a paper ticket too, just so we can get Sean to sign it before I cash it in.
Sure. Under passing touchdowns.
Yeah, let me get the updated number here. And that, yeah, don't. And then other than that, I guess I would consider a missed playoffs.
Consider, or are you playing it?
It would be something that we could do. Well, heads up.
I like that.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll bet you the Broncos are going to make the playoffs.
I'll take that bet, as you guys like to say. No, I won't personally. I'm just saying for your segment. For the
I'd
title of your
book
segment,
that.
I'll mediate that. I'll book that.
Yeah.
Like that.
So let me start with some positive Broncos news. Over 10.5 wins, plus 165. AFC champion 16-1 over at the Circa. AFC West at plus 330.
I didn't think this was going to go like
Little
this.
sprinkle on Bo Nix MVP at 50-1, just in case he does have the Jalen Hurts second year starter breakout stats wise. And I do like this Broncos team making a run in the playoffs. The big conversation in the AFC is the Bills, the Ravens. Who is that team that's going to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs? Meanwhile, or the Chargers, they even throw in there. Meanwhile, the team that's going to knock out the Kansas City Chiefs is sitting right in their damn division. They got the defense to do it. They have a young quarterback primed to make a year 2 jump with tons of college experience. They've improved their running game. They added Evan Ingram, and look at the studs they added to an already very good defense. I like what they did in the draft. I think they're a good head coach, and they have a legit home field advantage. You put this team in the playoffs with some home games, they are going to be a tough out. There we go.
I agree.
It's just classic NFL where everyone goes, is it going to be the Bills or the Ravens? No, the Bills and the Ravens have already showed you they're not the team that's going to get it done in the playoffs. And then sneaking in, you taking that crack of opportunity is the Denver Broncos. CJ, you have them going 10-7. There's a lot you can do at 10-7. You can take the over. You can stay away, make playoffs.
Yeah, you're right. I think you guys talked me into the make the playoffs sounds pretty solid. You're paying 7 more cents where 9 wins can get it. I'll go ahead and take the make the playoffs instead of over 9.5 because I can see 9 wins as well. That division price is absolutely. I didn't think that it would be that high. I know the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but in that division, everyone got better in that division. I think a lot of it could be beating themselves up. I think Kansas City's gonna be better than they were last year, but not win total wise. I can see them coming down to like 11 wins or so. At 330, that seems pretty fun. Maybe I'll sprinkle a bit. Give me sprinkle over 330.
Plus 330.
One of my favorite plays. I got two prop plays I want to play.
Oh, nice.
Talked me out of RJ Harvey. I've even talked myself out of Marvin Mims. Although they do like Marvin Mims a lot.
Yeah.
He's 60-1 to lead the division in yards, which is not the worst. But here's division play. The division play I like the most: J.K. Dobbins to lead the AFC West in rushing touchdowns at 10-1.
Okay.
You're basically, in my eyes, it's a heads-up bet against him and Gentry. Gentry's a chalk as well as he should be. He's the only workhorse back in there. But then you go, Pacheco, who I don't believe in. I don't even know if the Chiefs believe in him.
Chiefs definitely feels like a pretty big committee.
The Chargers have a tandem back there, and I think Dobbins is going to be the clear touchdown goal line guy, touchdown there. But I don't think RJ Harvey is that guy. The only problem is Peyton has no rhyme or reason, like I said earlier, with his rotation. But give me Dobbins 10-1 just for the AFC West leader in touchdowns. And like we said, that defense, number 1 EPA, they got even better this year, which is pretty crazy with their additions. I think a fun way to attack that. Obviously, I'm not going to go defensive player of the year. I'm not going to do even sack leader. Drake Greenlaw, 75-1 comeback player of the year. He's
that totally was not on my
thing?
That's it. I just saw that in DraftKings today as I was going through it, just get the latest odds.
Wanted to make sure you had something.
I'm
Make
gonna
sure you had that
add
right.
that to my sheet.
Drake Greenlaw.
I told myself I wouldn't play this market, but it's 75-1.
75-1, and now is he coming back from an injury? Now is he an amazing player that everyone knows? His injury was very public too.
Yeah.
That helps a lot when you're coming back from an injury. When he, tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl, for crying out loud. A lot of people even point to it as the reason why the Niners lost the Super Bowl. It's not, but it's when he's not in there. Then
being on a great defense, you kind of get that bump. I could
absolutely. They want to reward somebody from that Denver Broncos defense, and that's one of the awards they could give out.
Sean, so. Are we taking any other ceiling cases on? By the way, 25.5 is the passing touchdowns under.
25 passing touchdowns under for
25.5.
What's his rushing touchdowns?
I didn't see it. Let's see if they have one because
maybe a 2.5. Maybe
that's the interesting part of his game. I feel like that, like Sean Peyton. I feel like you saw through Taysom Hill. He always wished he had like the thing he hated about Drew Brees is that he was a pussy. And he always wished
insert Tatum Hill.
Yeah,
he wants him out there at one, right?
Always wish he had that guy that could have just. And Bo Nix has a little of that. I mean, that's the part of his game that's. They're not offering a Bo Nix. Right. Let me see. I'll look at another place while you guys are.
Maybe
talking.
his yardage. What do you think his yard? What did he rush for last year? Was it that? It wasn't Drake Mayish, but it was.
It's pretty.
More than you'd guess.
Yeah. Right. He's a willing runner, like I like to say.
Yeah, they had some design stuff for him early, and then 430 rushing yards. So
wow.
he was.
It was Drake Mayish,
and a lot of his rushing touchdowns were in the first half of the season. I don't know.
That's true. Now they got better as the second half of the season because there was going down those lucky games, like they shouldn't have beat the Jets and stuff. But that was kind of when they were finding their way, and they were a different team.
Yeah, no, they kind of went through some growing pains in the first half of the season, then lost some games they probably shouldn't have lost, and I expect them to kind of bounce back on those this year. I'm not touching any of his rushing.
So I did find the milestone market. So you got Bo Nix to get 5 or more touchdowns is plus 150. Bo Nix to get 8 or more is 5-1. That doesn't seem very good, right?
No, I don't like that.
No, because especially them bringing in Harvey,
especially when J.K. Dobbins going to lead the division.
J.K. Dobbins, I don't.
These prices aren't good.
And obviously I'm high on Bo Nix. I'm sprinkling the ceiling with the MVP, but his numbers are somewhat inflated. And that's the other reason why I'm high on this team. Like they don't need Bo Nix to throw 26 passing touchdowns for them to have a good season and get a good seed in the playoffs in my mind. Like
if they can run the ball.
Yeah, I'm not as hung up on that. Like they were pretty successful last year without running the ball. I expect their running backs to be better this year and their run game to be a little better.
Yeah, I think there's not much. There's a look like it has to because of a rookie and J.K. Dobbins who's never healthy. You're hopeful that things.
Well, and I think addition by subtraction. You're not giving Javonte.
Batty's still on the team, aka Bidet.
You're not giving Javonte Williams. He's not going to be your lead back. I think it's a big step up for the running game. I think Javonte Williams.
J.K. Dobbins and Javonte Williams are the same guy.
Okay, then don't.
I'm just saying.
Don't factor J.K. Dobbins. No, CJ. R.J. Harvey. I don't mean to be negative on J.K. Dobbins, but he's better than Javonte Williams.
R.J. Harvey better than Javonte Williams?
Oh yes, I think so. He's young. He knows how to run the football.
Sure, he's not. He hasn't touched the ball yet in the NFL. But I'm high on R.J. Harvey. Actually, I do like him.
No, I like him too. I'm just you're hopeful. What? It's just a big leap.
If you like R.J. Harvey, how can you not like their running game?
Because we got to see it work. It hasn't worked yet. Peyton hasn't gotten it to work.
It's a
yet.
projection.
No, I'm just saying Peyton hasn't gotten it to work yet here in Denver. Like I was excited about McLaughlin too because I know what that can be. 6-7 catches a game.
Yeah,
bada bing. It's a fantasy thing too, maybe a little bit more than IRL as they say. It's also I missed this on the first look at the depth chart, but their swing tackles Matt Parrott. That is a real problem. He was not good enough to be on the Giants offensive line. I'm just saying. No, not. Well, they were very healthy on the offensive line last year.
Yes, that's true.
So
very good O line.
Ryan's salty about.
Who did they sign today? Zach Allen.
They gave someone a bunch of them.
I think it was
Zach Allen.
Yeah, they're
probably.
D linemen.
Yeah.
All right, good times. Let's go Broncos.
Oh, and
Bronco
interception
country
props.
we ride.
I was going to ask you. I was digging around and I noticed that they do offer interception props. So you do like a Surtain. 3 interceptions is plus 110.
He had 4 last year and 1 defensive player of the year somehow.
He did have a sweet touchdown, but yeah, I don't understand how he won.
Very weird that
player
he,
of the year.
he won that. Yeah, I don't know these interception mark. We'll have to talk to Easy, see what he endorses. Surtain to have 4 interceptions like he did last year is plus 245.
I do like Barron to have a good year. I don't know. The price it's down 18-1 at a little bit at
Defensive rookie.
Yeah, slightly higher number,
It's a tough market.
but
It just
it'll
seems-
probably go to the pass rusher. But I think he'll have a good year and certainly being able to play opposite Surtain, he's gonna be locked in.
Yeah, we might have to. There might have to be a little defensive player of the year play on Abdul Carter. Did he double up on the rookie end player of the year? I don't think he's blockable.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's not blockable.
Yes. Good times as always. Commanders, Redskins tonight. Make sure you check out.
No, that's not right.
That's not right.
No.
What's the team tonight?
The Packers.
Oh, you're right. Packers with Dick Puncher. Go Pack, go.
We have pre-produced content. Tune
Yes.
in. And but a little behind the scenes. I'm sure Dick Puncher won't mind me saying this, but when I reached out to him to say, "Hey man, love to get you on the Packers preview," his response was perfect. He goes, "Perfect timing on the heads up. Packing for vacation with the lady right now. Looks like the cheese fist and top hat will be coming with me. I'm in."
All right, let's go. Great to hear from him.
That's the commitment it takes.
Wow. Pre-shot footage for tonight's episode.
Well, let's just say
it's like when Saturday Night Live first started doing
if you missed
pre-film skits.
If you haven't listened to the Bears preview yet, you should go back and listen to it.
Olan called
Because
him out.
Olan basically called out Dick Puncher by name and any other person who fancies themselves a fan of this program and a fan of a team that's not the Bears.
Wow. I did see Olan's. I didn't know what it was. I did see him screaming.
Yeah.
And that's what
It's fired up.
That was translating. Yeah.
He was kind of a meme. Though,
Yeah,
the
right.
entire- but
He
it
was
was
great.
perfect.
No, it was good.
Like
It
I
was
said before, Olan is that perfect kind of
Love the passion.
Keeps you on your toes, you know.
Now I'm excited because if I know Dick Puncher, and I do from the your pregame shows, that
he
you guys
loves
do,
it.
his call-ins. He's going to be bringing some fire tonight.
He knows how to cut a promo.
Absolutely.
Hey, check us out on Spotify. Toss us 5 stars. Always appreciate that. Any questions you have, comments on the episode, leave them on Spotify. We'll get to those and appreciate everyone as always.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the Money Green. He's Ryan
Good luck with your Bo Leaf, Sean.
Kramer. Let it ride.
I want better fucking execution.